She's gonna do what? With my ashes? This isn't the Ascent PS5, what the actual? This is Ruiner, the second best cyberpunk twin stick shooter on the market, behind the Ascent. Why is it number 2? Because it's single player only, but that means that it delves with time slowdown mechanics, which kind of makes up for things a bit. It should be played by anybody who's into the Ascent or twin sticks in general. It was a bit of a sleeper here. It's coming up to like 5-6 years old. It's available on all systems. I don't think the Switch, but the PC and PlayStation versions are beautiful. Here we are, here we have it. I thought I'd better get it in front of you before the 4-minute mark. As per, my watch time's averaging about 14 seconds, so I need to move quickly nowadays. Something very important to discuss. We are looking at the resolution favored mode, i.e. the 4K version, with the ray traced and effects added. The game starts you on what it calls a default mode. It's one of 3 modes that you get to choose from, and it's the weirdest method I've ever seen in a PlayStation 5 game for switching out the particulars on the menu. If you go into it in-game, nothing there. I was gobsmacked, right? There was a mini meltdown at this point, and I was like, this just can't be right. I'm like, surely there's some switches somewhere. It's out on the operating system of the PlayStation 5 itself. Yes, on that actual menu in the settings. Can't capture it because it won't allow you to do it on your system, but you will have 3 options then. Performance, quality and default. I put it on quality and I was like, let's see how those frame rates behave. Are they pegged at 30? Does it look like 60 frames? It's between 60 and 30. It's not 30 frames per second. It's the best looking version of the game. We will get to performance, but so far, gobsmackingly good quality mode. That front-end tutorial scene really does flex a lot of underground sections of the game, and the lighting, the neons, loads of shadows. There's a hell of a lot going on with the introduction, and also the backgrounds, big machines moving around, and this guy's a big explosive deliverer. But it's all really good news. There's no chugging on explosions, impacts, or busy NPC occupied areas. I played this game extensively on PC, and not a crap PC, and nearer the high-end settings, and it had major problems when it was released. Stutter everywhere, things just not looking good or working. I cannot say that about this version. It's pretty damn pristine. When did they add melee weapons and baseball bats? I didn't see a single drop of that over on the Game Pass side. Very welcome, not too useful at the moment, but to be swinging baseball bats around just like the Cyber Psychos are is definitely the way forward, and you get a satisfying little clang on your pad. Let's talk about that really quickly. There's no haptic feedback on the triggers. That broke my heart a bit. There's loads of shotguns in this game. They could add a little bit of give on the triggers. There is quite a lot of rumble and sound, however. Nothing that wouldn't be on a normal PlayStation 4 pad. And it's super handy. I didn't have it on the Xbox pad with my PC. You get to the end of a clip and you get this nice little click telling you exactly when things are going to run out. This bit of footage just explains perfectly why I'm so in love with this game on a twin stick level. That dual cover, firing over cover and staggering behind it is such a cool addition to a twin stick setup. Yeah, you did take us to the 4-minute mark now. Look at this. Look at the writing over on the left. Can you see what our options are here? Look how they've spelt couch co-op. They spelt it couch coop. That's me, that's my name. If it was co-op, it should have a hyphen in it. But they've put couch coop. I think that's a nod to me screaming about how great this game is for 2 years. Now, word to the couch co-op ambassadors out there, you need to have 2 profiles set up and the tutorial out the way to enjoy this game. Don't get everything ready, have the mate round, and have to go through their low-level crap. It will turn everybody off. So get a bunch of characters leveled up so they're all good to go. It's definitely the way forward. Wandering around the actual busy centre of town with 2 people, I was thinking would set things off a little bit. We're still on quality mode here. Looks really great. I think it's probably time we look at some combat and get things going. So I was paying particular attention to the barrel explosions and the floor dissipation. There's a move in this game where your dodge turns into like an earthquake, and it can mess around with the frame rates if you're using it all the time. I didn't see any major issues, and I did see a lot of really high-end dissipation. On the PC you can turn that down, but all of these crumbling walls and structures, it was all in there. Pretty cool stuff. One of the greatest things about the Ascent is it doesn't hold back on putting like really urban or domestic environments in front of you with loads of moving parts and fragments that can get knocked over and shot at, and it gives you the feeling that you're kind of having this great cyber street fight with psychos running out of shop windows and noodle bars everywhere. Really captures it, doesn't chug at all. More importantly, I wanted to get this game a bit more busy. We see some of that in a second. I did want to mention the old twin stick learning curve and introducing this game to people who aren't into that genre. You do forget how much muscle memory is involved in using those two analog sticks separately and not sort of walking in the direction that you're firing at, and that can be quite difficult for newcomers, so do bear that in mind. The fact that this has got a 2-tier cover system and firing system on L2 makes that explanation a little bit more difficult. Mucking around with the revive system also. I'm very used to this game in single player, having to look after somebody else when they're down, the ability to sort of crawl around, and the length of time it takes to actually pull someone back up is proper long, so you do have to commit, you have to make sure the area is clear. I like that addition to the normal single player game model. The game is also really good at scaling, so it puts middle ground for the enemy rank between your two ranks, so there will be a bit of difference. I'm 7, my colleague's 3, so it puts them at 5, 6, to make things interesting enough and to make sure that I'm not too OP and they're still having a good time. Borderlands is one of the experts of that. I did want to check on the cutscenes as well. Some of those were janky AF on the original game. You didn't see some of them. You couldn't exit a lot of them and get past a lot of the skip dialogue areas. That's so important, because if you're putting through 4 or 5 characters on one game, then you're going to want to be able to skip through stuff really quickly. Feel the game's A status and its price need to be spoken about. This feels like the most AAA twin-stick shooter I've ever played, and it retails at £25 for the full-blown Cyber Edition with the artwork, steelbook, loads of like little redeem codes. £16 for the standalone box on its own for the PlayStation 4 and 5. That's unbelievably good value. This feels like a full-price AAA title. It's huge as well, with loads of replayability and added incentive to get 4 and 3 people going, which I haven't tested. I know I've got to. Guilty as charged. So we are now in performance mode at 1080 and a lot 60 frames per second. I personally can notice that dip in resolution, but can't notice any major differences on the frame. So it's a no-brainer to go to that quality mode, and to do that, remember, I've got to come out of the game, go into the operating system and adjust it in those settings, then hard reset the game and reload it up again to get my performance mode. Hopefully they'll look to change that. And I did want to talk about hard crashes or freezes within the game itself. We did not experience any during our couch co-op gameplay. I rolled into something by accident and got stuck once, and we had to come out, but nothing went crazy on the screen freezing and getting booted out of the game. That happened a lot over on PC, but it was a beautiful experience and thoroughly recommended to anybody who's slightly into this genre. This is the PC mode. It did dip around when I was playing it on couch co-op with the frames over in the top right there. I think one of the more solid versions or modes of this game is to have it in quality over on the PlayStation 5. I'd really like to hear about your experiences with this game over on the Xbox console side, and hear back from you if you've had it going on the 5 full 4-player, because I imagine all the great things I've been saying about this quality mode could come back to haunt me. I also can't speak for the base level PlayStation 4 version of this game. I have heard in comments from my audience that it doesn't run great and it has crashed on them a lot, so feedback on that front as well, please. I have, of course, been Couch Coop. We've got Evil Within, still holds up just around the corner. Shinji Megami! Have a good look at my other twin stick lists, and I will see you down there.